Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Playful Escape podcast. My name is Kimberly,
My name is Cindy.
and we are your hosts. So, this episode is just going to be focusing all about us, and basically, the entire podcast will be focusing all about us. But here, we're going to introduce ourselves or each other. Cindy, do you want to go first?
Okay. So I used an acrostic of Kim's name, but her whole name, which is just Kimberly, to give examples of everything. Well, not everything, just, limited words. So I guess I'll just start. For K, I picked kind because you do kind things. I is introverted because you're a little bit introverted, and I think you can agree.
Yeah.
M is mysterious initially because you're introverted. And B is for the when people get to know you, you have a bubbly personality.
Okay.
E is educated because you have your master's degree. R is reliable because you're very dependable. People can rely on you.
Uh-huh.
L is let's not forget that you're sarcastic. And Y is youthful because you act childish.
Oh my God.
Do you like it?
I love it. I actually want to have this written on a piece of paper.
Oh,
and
well,
just
I can just send you what I typed.
Okay. Well, you kind of threw this on me before we started the recording,
Yeah.
and I basically making this up as I can go. But you
Nice.
have a shorter name, so
I
it's not
do.
like I can do a lot for that. If anything, I just have to do 5 letters. And man,
Yeah.
I was like, I can't think of anything for why.
Oh, do you like how I did mine? Youthful because you're childish. I know.
Yeah.
I actually really struggled on R and L. Y surprisingly didn't take too long because I was thinking, why? What goes with, what starts with Y?
Oh no.
But yeah, that's why for L, I was like, let's not forget you're sarcastic. And funnily enough, is for R, I was thinking about if I could find another adjective to describe you. I was going to be, oh, she's really this. So, like, persistent, for example. If I thought you were persistent, I was going to say, she's really persistent. But I found reliable, and I was like, that's not bad. Yeah.
I mean, that's true if you apply it to like my work ethic or something like that.
That's kind of why I wanted to choose that.
All right, so now I'm making an acrostic on the fly for Cindy. Her name is spelled Cindy. So I have 5 letters to work with. First one, I'm going to go with caring because you act kind of like a mother and you're just overly caring of others in that kind of sense. You're very protective as well. I'm going to say intriguing because you are intriguing with the things that you're interested in. N is going to be nosy because you always want to know everything that's going on in the family. But I was also going to say nice, but that kind of also relates to the word caring, and I don't want to be repetitive, but I think nosy is going to be a good word for that. D, determined. You are a very determined person when it comes to your schoolwork. Like, you don't let anything else phase you as far as that goes. And Y, I'm just going to say the word yay. Because you tend to be excited about a lot of stuff. When you do get excited, most of the time you tend to be very this neutral looking person who has this like resting B word face. And it's really funny, but the thing is like most of the time you are like, yay, let's do this kind of stuff. Excited in that kind of way.
That is so funny. I've never heard anybody describe my face like that, especially since I feel like I have quite a lot of facial expressions.
Mhm.
And people often I don't want to say mock, but like they take notice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I've never heard that, but that's funny. I mean, I do get it though. I feel like it's I don't want to say a defense mechanism, but it's probably kind of what it is. So people just don't approach you all the time. But that defense mechanism I've noticed comes down when I'm around other people.
Hmm.
So, yeah. I guess it's when I'm alone, it's when I'm more reserved. It's like, stay away, don't talk to me.
Yeah, and that's the only reason why, because get to see like when you're alone. Like, yeah, we live together, but I see when you are alone most of the time, and you have that kind of like, let me be
Mm-hmm.
this, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's funny.
I know you had a couple of questions that you wanted us to address in this first.
Well, I guess it's questions to like keep us going, but kind of still getting to know us.
Uh-huh.
All right. I feel like this is important in the sense of this podcast. I feel like we have to establish, or mostly I think I'm just curious, how would you describe yourself in the sense, are you more of a talker or more of a listener?
Ooh.
You like that question, don't you?
I do like that question, Squidward.
Nice.
A really quick disclaimer. I know my sister watches SpongeBob every now and then, and she likes quoting SpongeBob randomly, and it keeps my mind going in that kind of sense. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, there just might be some random doodle bob screeches or something. Who knows?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what our lives are, but mostly about revolved around. Just
Random references.
yeah, a bunch of random references. But to answer your question, I want to say both,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that I tend to lean more towards the talker side because I do like to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And in a previous life, and by life I mean like maybe a decade ago, when I was younger going to school, I was always the listener.
Mm.
And it was just the thing that just constantly, I was always listening to everyone else's problems. I never really talked. The only time that I did talk, it was just to either give advice in relation to whatever it was that other people needed help with, or it wasn't until I want to say late or like maybe in my mid 20s to now, I want to say I've been leaning more towards the talkative one, and I blame a certain instructor who pushed me to talk more because most of the time I was just listening.
Yeah, I feel like you've always been, I don't want to say reserved, but more like shy.
Yeah,
When you were a child, you used to be very shy. And
I still am.
initially, I think you still are. But I mean, like with me, I've noticed that, yeah, you are more of a talker as of late than probably you used to be, you know?
Yeah, like it's really interesting. I think reserved would have been a good word for you to also use for the acrostic.
But I had already used introverted and reserved and mysterious. I didn't want to add more.
My name doesn't have two R's.
No, I know. But when I said introverted, on my introverted
Uh-huh.
title, I like specified that you are more reserved to people initially.
Okay. Yeah, I do need to see this. I might have to listen to this again just to double check because I like how you described
Okay.
me.
No, yeah, I did have
You
a
were,
little bit of planning for this one initially. Although we stated with each other, and I guess I should state in the podcast, we may not have a lot of structure, so there may not be a lot of planning.
yeah.
But for this one, I kind of, in a way, I suppose I did plan. But I think planning is kind of my favorite thing to do. Even if it's disorganized when we're recording, I just like having some kind of like backfall or backdrop or whatever to say, oh, yeah, what else are we going to talk about? Let me bring up this, you know?
Yeah, and I want to follow up with that we had attempted to record previously and we were in the same room. We were using different microphones and it just picked up each other's echoes. And when I tried to edit that, it was just too difficult, especially since this is all new for both of us. But I'm doing most of the work for us.
This is why I use the word reliable.
So I told my sister that we would have to re-record this, which we were fine with, but I wanted to make sure that we purchased the technology that we needed. We got microphones, and we're actually in separate rooms, still in the same household. I hear her echo, but I also hear her through the computer screen. So it's really, really funny. But yeah, we're not going to be a very structured thing. We're going to be as bubbly as we can through this. We're going to be as real as we can with ourselves.
We're not always bubbly. What are you talking about? I was going to say, you said sisters, and I don't think we've acknowledged that. So maybe we should elaborate on that.
Whoops. Yes.
Mhm.
Cindy and I are sisters. We come from the same parents. Our mother birthed us. We lived in the same house forever.
We are the spawn of our mother.
Yes. You make it sound like we're evil. We probably are to her.
I was going to say, I mean, everything is, dependent on perspectives. Who's talking about us, Everything is relative.
Yes. I guess in a way that is true. To our parents, we're like just pure evil. Like dad always tells us, like, I know you're kind. You did this thing, but he tends to be evil towards us in that kind of way.
I haven't used that in a long time. I know you're kind, but oof, that used to be like my favorite thing to say.
Oh, I still use it sometimes. It's just been a while because I haven't interacted with people.
I know. Yeah. Well, maybe that's what it is. But like even then, like it's just the situation hasn't presented itself for me to use those words yet.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we're sisters.
We're not the only children birthed by our parents. We have a brother.
I am the oldest of all of us.
Oh yeah, I'm the middle.
And our brother's the youngest.
There's only 3 of us.
We are all legal people. We are all able to drink in our country and in our state.
Yeah, so just to give you like a rough idea.
We all live at home.
Oh, that's a fun topic.
It's not.
No, it's not really fun. It's kind of annoying, but yeah, we all live at home. Sad, I know, but
I mean, there's not much more to do. I mean, when school is all your life and you go to a school really close to home, is there really a point for you to move out?
Yeah. Especially with where we live and everything, it's expensive living here.
We live in California, and the rental rates for apartments or homes and that kind of stuff it's pretty pricey when you're a full-time student and you put in almost all of your time into school. So, I mean, again, that's one of the reasons why we do that. But we have been fortunate enough where our parents have been able to support us through our education. Either we take up loans to pay for certain things of our school, or they pay for it out of pocket.
We've just been fortunate, I mean, yeah, we have our ways of having to deal with paying for school, but I mean, everybody does.
Yes.
But luckily, it hasn't been too much of a financial burden, is what you're trying to say.
Exactly.
It's been manageable.
Yeah. So that's another reason why we all live at home. It's very difficult for us, but I mean, we manage. We get frustrated with each other all the time. But again, we still love each other. We're kind of one of the few sets of siblings that, from what I've seen, that we don't fight and we didn't grow up fighting. We argued, of course, that's a given, but we didn't physically fight each other.
Well, I mean, I remember getting scratched at or clawed at, if you will. And I also remember getting bruised lips and stuff. I mean, I know Johnny's not here to defend himself, but I know what's happened.
I don't remember any of this. What the heck?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's not like physical fighting, like we would actually like throw physical punches at each other or anything. But I mean, it's more usually playful and then somebody gets hurt,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. In that case, yeah, we definitely have been hurt by each other in the sense of we were playing and it just one of us took it a little too far.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else did we discuss in the previous episode attempt that we did not discuss here? So, well, we can say really quickly that you all can follow us at a Playful Escape pod or a Playful Escape on Twitter and on Facebook. And you can send us an email at aplayfulescape@gmail.com if you guys want to send in some questions for us to discuss and some of the topics that you want us to just start talking about here on the podcast. But relating to that, one of the things that we had discussed previously in our first attempt of recording this and failing epically with it is that I like to use social media. I interact with a lot of people using social media. I have almost all of the
social media platforms.
Exactly. So like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, a YouTube account.
The one with the ghost.
Huh?
That one with the ghost, little ghost.
Snapchat, yes. I have a Snapchat.
Is that still a thing? Do people still use that?
I think so.
Do you still use it? Because there was a lot of hesitancy in there.
I don't like post anything on the stories. I use it to message people sometimes. And I see family members post on there more frequently. From the beginning of Snapchat towards now, you can see a rapid decline of people posting on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like people don't really use it that
Yeah.
much anymore. I haven't heard much, which is why I don't remember the name of it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, they still have filters. I guess the thing that I like using it for is the filters, the face filters. But yeah, I don't really use it anymore, with the exception of sending a message to a cousin or two.
Mhm.
But I do know that some people still use Snapchat on dating sites and everything, because that's the closest way to be able to video call someone without giving someone else's phone number.
Oh,
So that's
I don't know.
that's how I would still know about it. And as far as like the podcast goes, is that I, in the previous attempt, called you a boomer because you don't like
Right,
using
right.
technology, not really, and that you don't like using social media at all. You did have social media at some point. You did have a Facebook and you had a Twitter. And I think that was the extent of
Yeah.
the social media accounts you had. You maybe had a MySpace, but I don't remember for sure.
Yeah, I had a MySpace, but I was gonna say, like, does that even really count?
Not anymore. That was like, ooh, 15-ish years ago. Oh my gosh, I sound old.
Dang, was it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a peak around my when I was like 15, like 13, 14, 15, and really late middle school.
I hopped on the bandwagon pretty late, so
Yeah.
mine was towards like the end of the MySpace era.
Yeah, and that's kind of what well, I don't think I hopped in at that point. I hopped in
No, no, you started before me.
pretty early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I kind of want to say like 2004-ish was when I got on MySpace. And I think that's when Facebook started coming out too. But no one really used Facebook. It was only people who were going to universities. It was a network account for them. You had to have a university email to create an account. And it was closer to 2007 or 2008 when I joined, because that's when everyone else was able to join. And
That's interesting.
I haven't deleted it. I still have the stuff. There was a lot of things that I had posted that I cringe at. I will say that. But they have added this feature called memories where you can see anything that you have posted on this specific day. So today is September 1st of 2020. And if I posted anything at all on September 1st in my past on Facebook, it would show me those memories.
That seems a little depressing because, well, I mean, it could be a very good positive thing, but I've noticed that when I used to have social media, it was like a way for people to say how they felt. Like, if they were feeling down in the dumps, they were gonna post some really negative Nancy stuff. You know what I mean?
And I think a thing that we should mention about that too is that it also depends on the age gap that you were on. At that time period, so say 10 years ago, I was like 18 maybe, or under 18. I was still in
Mhm,
my teens, and you're always
mhm.
wrapped up in your own emotions in that kind of sense, and you don't care.
I don't feel like people I don't wanna offend anybody, but typically, I feel like people still tend to only think of themselves, you know? Like, if something happened to me right now that I makes me so depressed, it doesn't matter to me at the moment that something also happened to you that makes you very depressed because 'cause I'm so caught up in my own depression that I'm not worried about yours.
Yeah. And I think that's what was really difficult about social media in the early 2000s, is that the internet was still booming. It still is booming. It's everywhere now. But at that time, it was rapidly growing. People were wary of it. And we just didn't know how to utilize it. And then it was until after 2010 maybe even after 2015, where social media is being used everywhere and that anyone can track your history on the internet. Like if you were to search up your own account, your own name online, like if you were to type in my name, I'm not going to say what my full name is to the public, but if you were to type in my name, you would find my Facebook account, my Instagram account, my Twitter account, maybe my Tumblr page, my LinkedIn account, and then you would see pictures that I have posted about it, which is really scary to think about it in that kind of sense that anyone can find anything. And even if you delete something from the internet, that it still lives on the internet. So like some of those cringy posts, I'm pretty sure someone has access to it. Like they can, undo the fact that I deleted that post. I would have deleted it, but it's not like I said anything bad. It's just that, oh my gosh, that was cringy teenage hormonal depressed Kim who posted that. I don't want that now because I see myself. I see how my past self and my current self are, and they're very different. Still the same, but very different emotionally.
Yeah, that's a good point. Although that's actually kind of also why I've reverted away from like having the social media. One, because I remember when I used to be on social media, I feel like although now you can say that social media is like you can use it to like get together with people, although that has always been the case. It's like the telephone, it brings you closer together, although you're not physically with each other, you can
Mhm.
still talk to each other. Social media has like that aspect, but I feel like it would from when I was on it, it was like you said, like teenage hormonal time periods. And it was when, if you were getting into a relationship with somebody, it was so easy to stalk or spy or see what they're doing, and so easy to get mad, break up. And it just, I feel like it caused more problems than solved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like, for example, if I were in a relationship with somebody and I wanted to hang out with this person, and they're like, oh, I'm going to go hang out with my brother. I can't today. Maybe tomorrow. And I'd be like, oh, okay. Well, if you got to do that, that's fine. It's your brother. But if you see on social media that they were hanging out with a group of friends, there's a lie. Why did they lie? Who knows? But then that leads to issues like, hey, I saw you were with your friends, not your brother. Why did you lie to me? And I feel like that led to more issues. You know what I mean? Or people, oh my God, I used to hate how much people would be affected by this, but people would comment on each other's pictures, and I don't want to say like in a flirtatious way, but like they would comment like, "Oh wow, you look so beautiful." "Oh wow." Like anything at all. And if they were in a relationship and the significant other of the person that was being commented on would reach out to you, I don't appreciate that you're hitting on my significant other, for example. I don't know if that had ever happened to you, or if maybe you had a picture and somebody commented on your picture and then
No.
somebody said anything at all. But that happened to me once. Do you remember when and in social media they had those things just like, "Oh, like my post and I'll answer all these questions about you, like what I think about
Yes,
you and stuff
those
like that?"
threads.
Yeah, those threads. So, I mean, I used to do them, not a lot compared to, I'm sure people did like a bunch of them, and I just would do them randomly. And I didn't even have a lot of friends on the social medias or anything. But when I used to do those, sometimes I would have people reach out to me and tell me, I don't appreciate you filling that out for my significant other. And I'm like, the whole point is that they are supposed to ask me to fill it out for them. So it's kind of like the requirement. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess in that way, man, you're bringing back so many memories on MySpace.
You know what's actually really funny is I didn't really remember that I even remember this. It's just the thing that when we were talking about it, I was like, oh my God, yeah, I had social media. I haven't thought about social media in a long time, but this is what I didn't like. which is why I kind of stopped using social media.
Yeah, of course. I will let you know that that thread, those comments and like prompts
Yeah.
still exist, but only on Tumblr.
Oh, yeah. No, but I feel like Tumblr's a happy place.
Depends. It depends on who you follow.
No. Don't get me wrong. It's exactly what I'm trying to say. There's dark stuff on there, but I feel like for the most part, the people that you're gonna have, I guess what I'm trying to say is online and in person, you have the same requirements. Like what you're exposing yourself to depends on who you're allowing yourself to be surrounded by.
Yes.
So I feel like that's very critical in social media and in real life. You know, if there's some toxic people, you don't want them in your life. You shouldn't be following them or, you know, have them follow you.
Ah, man, social media. Good times and bad times. I will definitely say that. But yeah, I haven't had the experience because I was just, again, I was more of an observer in that kind of sense. Like I watched people post these things. I watched people comment on each other. I didn't even like. I think if anything, I would like a celebrity photo and that was it. Or I would share a celebrity photo. But in a way, like social media is a way for us to seek attention from other people, basically saying, my life is boring. Come like this picture to kind of boost my
Confidence.
to boost my self-esteem in that kind of sense. And that's what I think about like Instagram sometimes, like the people who are posting consecutively like every day or posting like once a week on a regular schedule. Yeah, sometimes they may get paid to do that, but like when they get significant amount of people liking and commenting on it, I'm like, you're just doing this to seek attention. You're already getting a lot of attention and you want more of it.
I was gonna say, you said for like social media, it's like, oh, my life is boring. I was gonna say, sometimes I feel like it's the opposite. They're often trying to say, oh, look at my life. It's so great. Don't you wish you could have my life? You know what I mean?
And I was going to say that's a negative side also to that because there was this video that I saw. I don't think I showed it to you. I usually show you almost everything, but it was a pretty lengthy video where it says, I think there's two videos. There's one where a couple are like faking their lives. Like a woman has a dress, but she's like, she bought the dress and she's going to return the dress. So she has the tag on it, but it looks like a fancy dress.
Mm-hmm.
And like her and her significant other have like a lot of issues. Like they're arguing all the time. They're taking pictures in front of cars that are definitely not theirs. Like it was like a Rolls Royce.
It's an easy way to create a facade.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can fabricate your life in the public, to the audience watching these Instagram posts. They're comparing themselves to others. They're like, oh man, I don't have money to buy a nice dress. I don't have money to get those kind of cars. I can't go out to this really fancy place to go eat. But then, like in this video, it's really interesting because the woman, the one comparing herself to the other person,
Mm-hmm.
is like seeing these Instagram posts and they meet at the restaurant, not like intentionally, like they see them and they're like, oh my gosh, I follow them on Instagram. I want to go say hi. But she kind of doesn't intentionally eavesdrop, but she hears that they're fighting. And her boyfriend or significant other, they're like, you know what? I'm not gonna take what we have for granted. We have our car, we have what we can, we have, and we have actual love. Like we actually love each other, and that kind of, it gives that teaching moment. And so that was one video. The other video that I saw, I really wish I saved these, man. But the other video is just like what it looks like. Like, is what you're posting actually what's happening in real life? And the video begins with the woman going out of bed, putting on makeup, cleaning her hair, and then getting back in bed and taking a selfie, basically saying, well, what's that hashtag? It's like hashtag just woke up.
Mm.
Or woke up like this. And she's like so beautiful. But like if you see like the before and after, it's so different. And then it's just like a lot of people like pretending or going out of their way just to take a picture, which is why I don't like taking pictures.
Well, I mean, I get that. And I don't like taking pictures either. Like, 100% of my phone photos used to be just class notes. Like I wasn't fast enough to write down something, so I would take pictures, and that's still pretty much like 80% of like what's on my phone.
Yeah.
But like my pictures often are not of me. They're of little things that at the moment made me laugh or made me think, oh, I should show so and so this moment. That although they weren't here with me, I want to share this moment with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's me, but with our dog.
Oh, yeah. But it's like stuff like that, that it's just for me, I don't really see the point of social media sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's like super hard because I've talked to people about like why they have social media, like what's the
Purpose of it.
not the purpose, but like what draws you to it, what's your desire behind social media, and like for you did like the whole teaching thing, so you have communications, connections, stuff like that.
Yes.
So like for Simon, my boyfriend, I should clarify or say, he is a car enthusiast, and he, social media, everything that he follows, everything that he does online has to do with cars, you know? And personally, for me, I don't have any of those draws to social media. Like, yes, I would love to be connected with my family, but if they can't call or text me or email me, should I really go out of my way, create a social media account just so I can stay in contact with them?
That's true. I guess one of the reasons why I have social media is because I know a couple of family members constantly change their phone number.
I mean, I get that too, but if they really wanted to contact, like, I mean, no offense if any of my family members are going to listen to our podcast, but like, if any of my family members are going to change their number and,
Not tell you about it.
yeah, first of all, not tell me about it, but second of all, even now, if they have my phone number currently, they're not going out of their way to message me and talk to me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I don't have a problem with that. Like, because we kind of mentioned this, like, friendships in our last podcast. It's like I have certain friendships that, although I haven't talked to people in years, I know the moment I see them, I'm going to just start telling them everything that has happened in my life from the last time that we spoke, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like with family, although I don't see them often, or I mean, well, we see our family somewhat often, although since this whole pandemic, we haven't.
Mhm.
Sometimes people just, I don't want to say people aren't interested in you, but like they have the people that they connect with often. Like, for example, you and Leslie, our cousin, you guys are close. Talk and you go out of your way to talk to each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you guys have formed this really good bond. And in the past, Leslie and I used to be really close when we were in our adolescence,
Yeah.
And I mean, you were still there, but you weren't as close as me and Leslie. But now it's you and Leslie that have a closer connection.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
I guess it's a good thing to know that the bonds that we do form with people are evolve, and it's not always going to be the same as it was in the past. As much as we wanted to stay the same, it's not possible. But one thing I do want to know is that even though you and Leslie were close as children, sometimes she'll be like, "Is Cindy there?"
No,
Or, "I hear Cindy in the background. Can I talk to her?"
yeah, I'm not at all saying that like Leslie and I aren't close in any way, shape, or form. Is what I'm trying to say is even though Leslie and I don't talk, when I talk to her, I feel like I could pick up from anywhere in my life and not hold any grudges. Like, you haven't talked to me in like 3 years. I don't want to tell you what happened those 3 years. You know what I mean? I don't feel like that negativity. I'm just like, hey, I haven't talked to you. I don't even remember when the last time I talked to you was, but let me tell you the details of my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care. And I know she's the same way because when I talk to her, or when I used to talk to her, when I would see her in person, she was the same way. She would tell me everything that's been going on in her life currently. And she would even tell me sometimes things that happened in the past. She's like, I don't know if I told you this. I was like, it sounds familiar, but I'm not entirely sure. If you want to tell me, I was like, I'm all ears. Just go ahead. Drop it down. I'll listen.
I think that's also like us with Stephanie, our cousin.
Yeah, our other cousin, and who's in a different state. Yeah. And that's the thing. Actually, speaking of Stephanie, I don't think you're going to listen to our podcast. I mean, maybe if we send you the link, I'm sure you will. But like with her, for example, I remember her asking me about like the whole social media thing. It's like, how can you live without social media? And it's so easy. If you just go on with reality and just don't check your phone. I mean, I don't know what else to say, you know what I mean? But I don't see the purpose, I suppose, is what it really is. Like, yeah, there are things I'm interested in and I would love to learn more, but that's just research. Like stuff that I'm interested, I can just Google and find, things that I like. It's not like I need an influencer to influence me to buy something. I don't want that. I don't want to be influenced to purchase something. What if this influencer's getting paid? Is this product even good? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just super critical. I don't know.
In a way, yes. In a way, no. Because I can see how, like, I do follow some content creators, not influencers. They mostly identify as content creators, like Mikey from Glam and Gore.
No, no, no. I was talking about influencers though. Like, yes, content creators is different, but I was talking about influencers. People on Instagram specifically, I feel like they are influencers. They are not content creators because what are they creating? This image that you're gonna fall in love with? They're influencing you. They're influencing you to want their life, want their clothes, want their beverage. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like YouTubers.
Can you name any off the top of your head? Like, you don't have to name any, but like,
I don't have an Instagram, so no.
I just I just wanted to see like what you think about that, because like again, I guess I use social media to stay in the loop with these content creators because I love the feed that they present.
There's a spectrum, I would like to say. There's a spectrum
Okay.
of social media where it's like I'm going to use the extremes like Instagram and YouTube.
Okay.
YouTube, I know it's not exactly social media, but that's where I feel like you're creating content.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Instagram, no offense, no shade, Instagram, but like I feel like that's influencers. Like obviously content creators could have Instagrams and they could show you little sneak peek pictures of what they're creating, but influencers are the people that like we were talking about that they're like, "Oh, I'm so bored, give me boost up my self-esteem like my picture." Or that other spectrum that we said, which was desire everything I have in life. You know what I mean?
So I guess in a way, the way I'm thinking about it when you say influencers, I'm thinking like reality stars, like people who
Yeah.
have a reality show and they are not on YouTube. They're not doing
So we're
any.
talking about celebrities.
Yes. Okay. And that's what I just wanted to figure out. So there's like celebrities.
Even people that aspire to be that type of person with the most likes, the most follows. Is that the right term? I don't know.
I guess.
But do you see what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they want that attention. I guess attention seekers is very much what I'm trying to say. Like the people that are looking for that attention are often, that's what draws me away mostly, I think.
Okay. That really makes sense in that kind of way. Like you're making that spectrum and saying, like, here's the spectrum where you follow only family and friends.
Right.
There's a spectrum that you follow content creators.
Right.
Because the way I'm seeing the spectrum is like the color spectrum of the wavelengths or the UV light, like
Yeah, yeah,
from blue to red, that kind of stuff.
yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of spectrum. But in this kind of sense, I see it like a circle or a pie chart kind of spectrum.
So the color wheel with like a range.
Yes.
So it's still the spectrum of like the colors, but like a wheel
Yes. But some of it, like, where,
with like gradients. Yeah.
yeah. So that's how I'm thinking of like the spectrum that you're talking about. Because there's the different brackets of social media.
Yes.
And okay, I see what you mean.
But what I'm trying to say is like, yes, there's a way that you can get in contact with your family.
Mhm.
But when I see my family, I feel like the fact that I don't know anything about them from social media makes me talk to them. How have you been? What's been going on in your life? You know what I mean? Whereas if I meet somebody on Instagram that I follow because they're so popular, because they're so cool, all I'm going to do is be like, wow, look at them. There they are in the flesh. That's all I'm going to feel if I were like that. Do you see what I mean? It's not like I care at all about who they are, what they do, their personalities, because for all I know, everything's fake that they're posting or saying. I have no idea who they are. And I feel like that's the biggest drawback. You have no idea who these people are.
Yeah, here's one
That's
thing that I
true.
can take away from social media in general is social media is only what you want to share. It's not your whole life. And if you share only the good or only the bad, that's the perception that other people have of you. And it can leave a bad taste in their mouth in most of the time.
And I mean, one of the reasons I've like also talked to Simon about why I don't see the appeal of like creating a social media account is I have nothing worth saying. I don't feel like, you know what I mean? Like, what am I going to say or post or share on social media? You know, I mean, apart from this podcast, which obviously I have plenty to say, but like, I don't have pictures that I can just post and be like, there, I've said it, I've done it, I'm good, I feel confident about this. It's like I don't have anything worthwhile, I feel like, to share or post like that.
So then I have a big question for you, and I think we should wrap it up after this.
Okay.
Are you going to be the one managing our social media accounts, especially if we create an Instagram account?
If that were the case, I feel like there would be absolutely nothing posted.
Really? Nothing?
Unless it's like specifically like stuff I want to share and post, I doubt I'm gonna do anything.
Not even to promote us?
I mean, I would promote us for sure, definitely. I'm not gonna hesitate to do that, but what I'm trying to say is outside of promotion, what else would I do on that Instagram account? Do you see what I mean?
Very true. I barely use my Instagram account. I just scroll, see something that someone has posted. I show it to you or to Johnny, our brother. And then from there, just keep scrolling, double tap a photo that I actually do like. I normally don't always double tap a photo. And then I save certain photos that I want to reference back, but I never reference back to those.
Yeah, but do you see what I mean? Like, it seems like such a mindless thing to do. Are you really like interested in those people and what they're saying? Or are you just, you know, passing time?
That's true.
I don't know. I don't find the value in that, I suppose.
No, that's true. I mean, some people will find the value, but for me, I spend more time playing video games.
No. I'm not at all trying to say that I'm judging people that are like so obsessed with social media. It's just from my perspective, I don't see a value and there's no purpose for me. I've considered it. Like, I've even talked to Simon about how maybe I should create an Instagram, but if I create an Instagram, I'm not gonna post or share or do anything. And he would tell me, he's like, but you can like and view everybody else's. I was like, yeah, but like I've just stated, it feels like mindless just pastime,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy doing it sometimes. Like, although I don't have an Instagram, I look over people's shoulders when they're on Instagram and see what they're watching or what they're viewing. But I wouldn't like to do that to any further extent, to be honest. Because I feel like I have a Pinterest and that's the same thing. It's just mindless scrolling and repinning everything, you know?
I think with Pinterest, though, the purpose is that you're going to find something that actually interests you, and then the boards are tailored to that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff on there that I do like. And I feel like to me, I feel like it's really, really similar to Instagram without like the influence. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, because most of the time you don't know who it is that's posting it. You just
Yeah.
see it shared. While Instagram, the first thing you see is who posted it.
So if I ever create an Instagram, I'm going to treat it like a Pinterest. Like, you're not going to know who I am. I'm just going to have some title, some name. and you may see little aspects of my life. For the most part, it's going to be like style and aesthetic, but not for you to be like envious or jealous about. It's just to be shared because those are my interests. Do you see what I mean?
Yes. So my takeaway is we are creating an Instagram account for this podcast, and you will be in charge of it and sharing everything and anything.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
That's going to happen. I'm doing it now. As soon as we log off of this, I'm creating an Instagram account. Next time, we will have an Instagram account.
Well, I mean, you can do that. I'm not going to do it.
You have to find stuff to post.
Oh, but I'm not going to post anything worthwhile to anyone.
No, it's going to be promoting us, but with a picture.
But you're the one that already has all the pictures, so technically you're still running it.
No, you have to do some digging around and find some other pictures.
What if I find some embarrassing pictures of you?
That's fine with me, as long as I'm a child and not recently.
Oh, I have some recent ones.
Oh no, you gotta show me those first.
It's usually you sleeping.
I hate it when you guys take pictures of me sleeping.
Especially since you're such a messy sleeper. You're all over the place.
Sleeping is a difficult task for me.
Difficult task?
Yes, it is a burden. I do not want to sleep.
No, but you need to. Your body needs rest.
What is sleep?
Sleep is giving your body rest.
Nobody got time for that.
Everybody, you need at least 8 hours.
At least. I'm lucky if I get 6.
No, 6 is pretty good. Some people only get like 3 or 4.
That was me in grad school.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. That concludes our first episode of this podcast.
Sorry if you're boring.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it was boring. Did you think it was boring?
I found it very entertaining talking about our old social media. Or when I had a social media, that was so long ago. But like stuff like that to me, that was like, wow, I forgot I did that, or I forgot that was a thing. It's just kind of back in your memory, and you just kind of ignore it. It's kind of like that thing in the corner of your room that you just put to the side and you'll deal with it later. You just never deal with it. That's kind of what social media felt like to me when I did it. And it's just like, I'll never pay attention to it. And then we started talking about it. And then I was like, hey, look at that thing over there. And it was like, oh, yeah, I forgot I had that. I forgot I did that.
Maybe next time we'll scroll through the history of your Twitter account.
Oh, I've already deleted some stuff, thankfully.
Oh, man. Because I was going to see, do you still have some other conversations that we would have?
I might, to be honest. But like they were so random and like pointless. Like I don't know why we did that. But I mean it was fun for the like time being. It gave us some form of entertainment. But like now thinking back, it was so pointless. We probably weren't even saying anything. We were just saying hi to each other. It was like hi, 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 hi.
I know for sure there were a couple of those. I know there was a couple of those. I've deleted a lot of my tweets. So I don't think I would have any of those from the beginning of our Twitter career.
Yeah, I mean, I might, like I said, but I don't think I would have them all, if anything, because I did delete quite a few of them. I don't know, when I had time and I was like decluttering life, I decluttered Twitter too.
It's hard to delete.
It's such a process. It's so tedious, which is why I don't know if I went through all of it, because after some point I was like, I'm done with this. I'll do more another day. And I just didn't readdress it.
Yeah. Well, that's it for this podcast, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts if we are on there. I don't know where we are yet. Thank you for listening to a Playful Escape podcast. And I am closing off. My name is Kimberly.
And I am Cindy.
Bye.
Bye.